Here we have a used 2018 Audi S5 Sportback. Now this S5 comes in Daytona Gray Pearl, and we do get the black nappa leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 3-liter turbocharged V6 engine mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. That gives us 354 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. And this particular model just has a little over 51,000 miles on it. So around to the front end here, LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights. Love this front end. It just looks so sophisticated, even with it being 23 and this one being a 2018. It just looks like it belongs on the new car lot. So very impressed by that. Over here to these wheels, 19-inch alloy. Still, these seem to be in fantastic condition. I believe this was a certified pre-owned vehicle before it got here. Passive keyless entry on all 4 doors, power door lock controls, memory seat controls. All 4 windows are one touch up and down. Rear window lock is there, and then power mirrors, pick a side, adjust, or you can power fold them inside. Blind spot indicators right there. Now we can open and close the trunk from right here. Bang & Olufsen sound system. Love the LED lights that were put in here. Headlamp controls, and we can actually adjust the height of the heads-up display right there. Hood release, pedals. This one does have all-weather floor mats in here, which I appreciate. And then the release for that manual tilt telescoping steering wheel is right there. And there's the horn. And here we have our power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar support, also power massage support. And then we do have thigh support as well. But love that stitched leather there. It looks fantastic. And I love how embossed the S symbol is there. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3", longer legs. So checking out this rear leg room real quick. Not terrible for this to be an S5, specifically a Sportback, but seat back pockets are on both sides, rear AC vents, automatic climate controls, 12-volt. The middle seat will fold down, and then we have a little storage compartment here, and then 2 cup holders there. And then here we have our nice LED dome lights for the back. Now headroom is not the best back here, but it's not touching the ceiling. But I only have I can feel the hairs of my head touching the actual liner there. And then grab handles here. We can hang one plastic hanger or a metal hanger hook there. Now please excuse any wind noise that comes through. It's just the wind is wishy-washy today. The tail lamps are there. Love the dual exhaust. And a big shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for letting me review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But with this power lift gate here, we can again open it from the front or the back here. And then underneath we have a spare tire. And then we also have bigger storage pocket there, small storage pocket here. Now I will say I could not get this trunk open, or I couldn't get the gas cap, excuse me. There's a 12-volt. So to get to that, I had to take this out, pull that, and then there's a little red cable, and you just take that and then pull it straight out this way, and then it kind of releases that gas cap. For the longest, I didn't know what was up with it, and I had to look up a YouTube video myself to figure that out. So, but tray here, and then I like that this covers the actual cargo space and you fold it down, matched up with that, and then you can't actually see in the trunk from the back unless you have this up. So that's a pretty impressive security measure. But when the gas cap is working properly, all you have to do is push here, and then you can get to that. So it is interesting. That's kind of it wasn't a big issue because obviously it's working fine now, but in a car with 51,000 miles, that was kind of like, whoa, if you're at the gas station, you don't want to have to be dealing with that. But then these will fold flat when the seats up front are up far enough. You can run longer objects through that way. And pretty easy, just fold them back into place. And then we do have our anchors back in there for your car seat. And then to the front passenger side, like that we have the same functionality in terms of the lumbar, the massage, and then the power seat along with that thigh support. And then we have a lockable glove compartment here, and that's where our CD drive is. We can put SD cards on either side and a SIM card there. But back to the front end, we're just gonna take a quick look underneath the hood. And there is that 3-liter turbocharged V6. We're gonna test that out here on the test drive. But first, we're just gonna take a quick run down through the infotainment system and all that. So back in the interior here, love the flat bottom steering wheel. Leather wrap, feels fantastic. And now just a quick rundown of the radio. Gonna hit this menu button. So we do have a navigation system. And then we have, for radio, we get, thought I turned this down already, AM, FM, and XM. And we can go through our presets here when those are set up. Still, okay, there it is. And then for the navigation, there's that there. And then if you actually want to put in an address, you can do that. So basically nav and map, you just go between those two menus I just showed you. And then phone, we can go through all that there. But the Audi radios, they can be a bit tedious, so I'm just gonna go through all the important stuff. Go to vehicle, if you wanna set up those drive modes, you can use drive select down here. And then we do have the map function, navigation function. Like I said, I have the buttons I just used there. And then we can go through all of our MMI settings there, including the measurement units, language, etc. And then for media, go in here, and you can use an aux input, Bluetooth, and then you also have a USB SD card reader, and then that DVD drive that was in that glove box I just showed. But backup cameras here, guidelines, follow you as you turn the steering wheel. We have that parking sensor view as well right there, and then the front camera's there. So pretty good picture on both of those. Hazards, and then we have dual zone automatic climate controls as well as that third auto climate in the back. We can adjust that there. I have it synced up now, but you can decide if you want 3 zones, set the rear, or open, so it just depends. And then you can always just adjust this by yourself. The AC toggles here, fan direction, fan speed, and fan direction for the front passenger. 3-stage heated seats for the driver front passenger as well. The auto stop toggle, traction control, parking sensors, and we can cut the screen off there, touch of a button. And then a USB-A port there, 12 volts. And then the cup holders here, illuminated again, I like that. And then here we can go through our presets. And all those buttons again are right there, and you can use this mouse to kind of go through all of that. And then for the shifter, hit the button, drive, pull up for neutral, or push up for neutral, excuse me. And then push all the way up for reverse. So you have to hold on to this the whole time. Press P for park. You can put it in the manual mode as well by putting it in drive and then going over there. And then you do have the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Volume can be adjusted there, and then you can kind of seek or tune there. Trackless, whatever setting you're in. And then center console space, you have an aux input and a second USB-A port there. And then there's a sunshade control, sunroof control, garage door transmitter, nice premium LED dome lights for the front. And I like that you can one-touch slide both the sunshade and the roof. So that's how far it goes back. And then you can just close everything back together. Look at the back seat. And then vanity mirror. I love that that light's LED as well. And then to the steering wheel, blinkers are here. I believe that's the lane keeping system. We can toggle that on or off there. High beams, and we can turn those off, flash there. Windshield wiper controls, these are automatic, so one time, and then off, auto, low, high, and we can adjust the auto sensitivity here, and then just pull up here for that front wiper fluid. And then for the cruise control, on there, push it all the way back up, all the way back for off, excuse me. and then you can turn it on, set the speed, and then you can kind of turn the adaptive cruise on or off, and then adjust that gap there, and it'll show you in that bottom right hand corner how far the gap is. Now up here we can go through the sub menus of the gauge cluster using these arrows here, so you can go through all of that, and then you can use this when applicable in certain menus as a scroll bar. Click to OK, and then you can do this to go back within each sub menu. So I can do a lot there, and then hit this view button to change that up, and that's kind of like a back button there. And then nav, this is the favorites button, so I can actually, when the camera's not up, I think this one's set up to do the drive modes there, but voice recognition, Bluetooth, volume, track list, radio stations, we can go through all of that there. And then that heads up display, see that there. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2018 Audi S5 Sportback out on the road for a test drive. Wow, so starting the test drive here in this S5, I mean, so quick, and the exhaust sounds fantastic. I came out of that quarter, put it down about 2/3, and the boost was incredible. Very impressed by that. So I have it in comfort mode now. I'm gonna put it into dynamic. I mean, the turbo pull from here is just fantastic. Typical Audi fashion here with the S5s, the RSs. I want to put in the manual mode and try and shift. Gonna give myself a little space. Oh my gosh, this thing is so quick. I mean, just crazy. I think what makes it so fantastic is it's a V6 turbocharged, and just the sound you get is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I'm setting the gap back, the lane keeping system's on. We have the adaptive cruise on now. So that's kind of how the system works. Pretty impressive for a 2018 Audi, I think. Ride quality is good. And it does want you to keep your hands on the steering wheel. And this is the active lane keeping, or active lane sensing system. But wheels are just a tad loud, these 19-inch alloys at certain speeds, but for the most part, ride quality is good, wind noise is pretty good, and road noise, not overly intrusive, but definitely with this B&O sound system, that shouldn't be an issue for you. Just at certain speeds, it kind of gives you a loud hum, and then it kind of like, I don't know what it is, if it's the sound frequencies or what, but then it's just unnoticeable again. But honestly, I don't even care. This thing is so fun to drive, especially with 51,000 miles to still have this kind of power output. Very impressive. Now, this is an impressive sedan, I think, just because new, this probably was 60, 70, 80 grand, I don't even know. But you can get this, at least at this dealership in particular, it is $37,000. And with this kind of miles on it, especially with it being an old certified pre-owned vehicle, which I'm not sure if Audi transfers their certified warranties or not, but if they do, that's another plus there. And I mean, this thing is just, it's quick. And with this 8-speed, it's quick on its feet too, which you don't really see a lot of the times, but when you put your foot into it, specifically in the dynamic mode, it's ready to go. You're not sitting there waiting to find the right gear for 2 seconds and then you can go, but it's just instant. And I'll show you a pull here. gosh, it's just, it's wild. So much fun. And again, for the price point, getting this used, not a bad deal at all. Even if it's just for the sound you get through the cabin, it's just, can't get enough of it. Now I'm gonna dial it back into the comfort mode. And that's where this thing, as a luxury vehicle, sticks out, because the ride, even with these 19s, again, it's not overly loud, but you can hear them more on the interstate, the wheels, the tires. But here, it's a luxury vehicle. It really is, in terms of the ride quality. Even with it being a bit stiffer on this sports suspension, it's still not uncomfortable, and I wouldn't mind driving this for long distances. But number one, this is a sport luxury vehicle. I wouldn't necessarily consider it a luxury sports car. I consider this a sports car luxury vehicle, because it's fast first, and then you have the luxury amenities as like an added bonus, having the leather, having the adaptive cruise, blind spot monitors, the lane keeping system. It's just icing on the cake, but I wouldn't care to have all of that, honestly, if I could just have this powertrain. I think this cracked 0 to 60 in like 4.5 seconds, and it definitely feels that way. So a big kudos to Audi for making such an impressive sports car with a little bit of luxury on it. And that'll bring me to the end of my review of the 2018 Audi S5.